Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today, I'm going to be sharing my top 10 makeup favorites of 2023. I did recently film a video where I shared my top makeup favorites in every single category, and if you haven't seen those videos yet, I will list them below. But because I did just do that a few months ago, I thought for this video it would be more fun if I talked about the top 10 favorite products that I tried for the first time this year. That way it's not a repeat of the exact same video that I just filmed a few months ago, but instead I can share the products that I was the most excited about trying out this year, that I couldn't get enough of, that I was reaching for nonstop, and that I can't wait to share with you guys. All right, let's jump right into it. My brain is happier if I film videos in order of application, whether it be for makeup, skincare, or hair care, so we're gonna talk about these in order that I apply them on my face. So that means that product number one is primer, and my favorite primer by far is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. For me, this was a game changer. Prior to introducing this into my makeup routine, I was not using any makeup primer at all. Instead, I was relying on sunscreen to act as a primer. And in many situations, sunscreen actually works great. If you find one that's a little bit tacky in finish, it can be perfect as makeup primer. But because I do test out new sunscreens constantly, it's not every day that I end up testing a sunscreen that also doubles as an amazing makeup primer. And I've told you guys in previous videos that I was running into issues, especially on my forehead, with my makeup starting to kind of break up and go splotchy just within a few hours of wear. And once I linked that back to my sunscreen, I felt more excited to try this out, hoping that it would help fix that problem, and it 100% did. So this is something that I not only love because of the fact that it corrects that problem and helps my makeup to stay in place all day, but also because it's something that I can put on top of any skincare products that I have underneath it, and it works for me every single time. No pilling, it doesn't mess up my makeup, it's perfection. I understand the hype. I do. In thinking about complexion products that I wanted to include in this video, I knew for sure I had to include the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. I don't know why I feel the need to hold up both of these. I guess because I have found that my perfect color match is a mix between 110 and 112, but I'll put one down now. I was very curious about this product and really excited to test it out when I first saw that it was launching, because to me, I saw it and immediately was like, okay, that's obviously meant to compete with the L'Oreal Hyaluronic Skin Tint. And if you have been around for a while, you know that that has been my absolute favorite complexion product for several years at this point. Also, I find it really interesting that a brand like Maybelline is coming out with a competitive product to L'Oreal, because Maybelline is owned by L'Oreal. All that business stuff just it's very interesting to me. So this is something that I did compare to the L'Oreal Skin Tint in a split face wear test review. If you haven't seen that yet, I will list it below. But I felt like I had to do that given how much I have raved about the L'Oreal Skin Tint. I really wanted to see for myself and share with you guys what the similarities were, what the major differences were, and which one I liked best. And even though, spoiler alert, I did end up choosing the L'Oreal Skin Tint as the better performing product overall, I still find myself reaching for this constantly because it gives my skin such a beautiful glow, and this is one of the most complimented complexion products that I've ever worn. I put this on actually with a full face of drugstore makeup before I went out to dinner with my friends, and the friend that was sitting across from me was like, I cannot stop staring at your skin, like what do you have going on? And it was literally all drugstore, and this is the complexion product I was wearing. I actually did film a video where I did a first impression drugstore try on, and that was the makeup that I wore to dinner that night, so I'll list that video below if you want to see that entire face, but star of the show for sure. My favorite concealer of 2023 is definitely the Haus Labs concealer. This also launched this year, and I was also really curious to see how it compared to other products because we had so many concealer launches this year. So I filmed a new concealer showdown where I tested out a bunch of the new hyped up viral concealers. Again, listed below just like every video that I referenced throughout this video. Spoiler again, the Haus Labs concealer is what won that showdown for me. I just absolutely love this, and I've honestly never tried another concealer quite like it. I also find that mixing two shades is my perfect match for my fair skin. So I mix 13 Light Neutral, which works perfectly for me if I have a self tan, with 0.05 Fair Peach so that I have a, little bit of a lightened up concealer for my fair skin. I do want to try the shade, I think it's like 04 Neutral. That's been out of stock forever. concealer, so I would like to try that in the future, but this works for now. But again, like I was saying, I really haven't tried another concealer like this before because of how incredibly skin-like this looks. It has a creamier consistency, but it blends out to feel lightweight, and the skin quality of this is just next level. It looks so bright, so fresh, makes your under eyes look alive, so glowy, but not in a way that is super radiant or pearlescent like the luminizer like primers that are super, I was gonna say famous right there. What? There's no pigment situation like that in these concealers. The brightness truly just comes from the formulation. It's incredible. So if you are on the hunt for a concealer that makes your under eye area just pop, then I would definitely check out House Labs. I didn't try any new setting powders this year that I feel like deserve to be labeled as favorites. At least not quite yet. There are some that I've tested out more recently, but it's too soon to add them to this video. So I was really still gravitating towards my all-time favorites this year, like e.l.f. Halo Glow and the Sigma Soft Focus Setting Powder. So I will just link those in the description box below, even though I'm not gonna show them to you guys, because again, they weren't new to me this year. But moving on to bronzer, I also have a House Labs product. This is the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. I picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale. I believe that I showed this to you guys in my haul, because I did actually make one final little VIB purchase after I filmed that haul. Anyway, so the reason why I picked this up is because I was on the hunt for the perfect bronzer for my fair skin that didn't pull orange at all. I have tried several bronzers that are really beautiful and light enough for my complexion, but that still pull orange on me. And so when I saw this, I was like, I think this might be right on the money. This is in the shade Light Level 1, and I'm wearing it right now. I'm actually wearing everything that I'm talking about in this video on my face right now. I felt like I had to, right? And I think the undertone is perfect if you are looking for something like that as well. It really is such a beautiful bronzer. It has a very, very like almost like creamy powdery texture. It has a soft focus, kind of like soft matte finish, and it wears beautifully on my skin. So I'm really glad I picked this up. House Labs has just been very much impressing me this year. Everything I've tried from them, I've been wowed by. For blush, many of you probably know that 2023 was the year of my blush lighter obsession starting. So when I think about the blushes that I was the absolute most excited about this year, I actually tested out so many new blushes now that I think about it. So this, I feel like, is an honor to be listed as my favorite blush of 2023. Because my God, I probably tried like over 20 blushes easily. But when I think about the one that, again, I was the most excited about, that I used the most, that I just couldn't stop reaching for, it is by far the RMS Beauty Redimension Hydra Powder Blush. That's what it's called, right? Yeah. I love this blush so much that, yeah, I went a little crazy. So I have 6 of their blushes. I will show you all of the shades that I have. And at first glance, they look very intimidating because they look like they just would be way too intensely highlighty on the cheeks. And I said this in a recent video, but when you swatch them, it also looks like it would just be way too much of like a stroby finish, but they are not at all if you just apply them with a normal blush brush. The type of brush that you use to apply this definitely changes the finish. So if you want like an all over disco ball cheek in blush form, you can do that with this, but it's not gonna be what you get right away when you're again applying with a normal blush brush. I just think the finish is so gorgeous. It makes your skin look so soft and glowy and diffused, but it's not overly intense, like I already said. And I just can't say enough good things about it. I am obsessed, obviously, because I have 6 of them. So here are the first 3 shades that I have. We have French Rosé, Cur Royale, and Pomegranate Fizz. And the last 3 are Crystal Slipper, Maiden's Blush, and Hanky Panky. And another thing I love about these is that they double as eyeshadow. They look beautiful on the lids. I have that going on today. I am wearing Maiden's Blush right now on my cheeks and on my eyes. And the same thing that I said about the finish on the cheeks holds true on the eyes as well. It looks soft and diffused and gives you a beautiful glow, but it's not a metallic or a shimmer or a glitter. These are just stunning. And if they come out with 30 shades, I will have them all. My favorite highlight is also from RMS Beauty, and I don't think I've had a chance to talk about this on camera yet because there hasn't been a video that it would fit into well, because I did try these out too close to my last favorites video about makeup to include them in that, but they're officially a favorite. So much so that again, I have 5 million of them. So they call this product an illuminator, and it is a cream highlight in pot form. What I love about these so much is that they are very sheer compared to like a powder highlight where the color is like, how am I trying to say this? I find with a lot of powder highlights, while I love them and have no plans to stop using them, they can definitely look more pigmented and opaque on the cheeks while still giving you that glow. Whereas something like this formula right here is more sheer, but still gives you that gorgeous luminous finish, so it looks more skin-like. This is Living Luminizer and this is Magic Luminizer. So see what I mean? Just a bit more glassy and natural. So that's Living Luminizer, Magic Luminizer. They definitely look really similar. I don't think you need both of those, unless you're crazy like me. And then these two I haven't used yet because they're a bit deeper and I'm waiting to be self-tanned for them. This one is Champagne Rosé Luminizer and this one is Peach Luminizer. So there's all four. My goodness. And then the first thing that I actually picked up is a quad with their highlights. So if you're interested in multiple shades, then this can be a good way to go as well. Beware, this looks sketchy because of how many times I've dipped my brush in it. So this is the Luminizer X quad, and this has Luminizer X, Champagne Fizz, Luminizer Nude, and Champagne Rosé. I told you those looked sus. So you can of course apply these with your fingers, but I also love just using my regular highlight brush in this. I feel like it just gives it a bit more oomph. The only downside to that is then you definitely get like little brush hair fibers in the cream. So maybe if that freaks you out, don't do that and just use your finger. But if you're okay with it, you do get an extra pretty highlight. All right, let's move on to eyes. I don't have any new favorite mascaras to include in this video. I am currently working on a high-end mascara showdown, and I feel like after that, I'll definitely have some to add. But for now, my favorites are still my favorites. Maybelline Lash Sensational. That's about it. So I'll list that below. But I do have a new favorite brow product. It's actually two products. They're both from Kosas. They are brow pencils from Kosas. They just have different tips. And these are an absolute game changer for anybody that has small, fine, and or sparse brows, like me. So the first one is an angled brow pencil. This is called the Brow Pop Dual Action Defining Pencil. I think this technically means I have 11 products in this video. Leave me alone, this counts as one. And look at how tiny this is. Like, it's so small it won't even focus. There, you guys. Tiny. I have never tried another brow pencil that is this small, and what that means is that I can get a more natural looking brow stroke, which again is a game changer if you have very fine sparse brows. But if that's not small enough for you and you want to go even tinier, you can do that. This is the Kosas? I don't know. That makes me think of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and I need to watch that tonight now. The Kosas Brow Pop Nano. If you haven't seen this yet, you're gonna be like, what? Like, I have literally never seen a pencil this small in my life. Look at it. It's so tiny. Obsessed. These are amazing. I know that I have raved about the Benefit brow pencils before, and I still think that those are incredible, but now that I've tried these, I feel like I'll just continue to repurchase these because they work even better for me. But if you don't need teeny tiny pencils, then I think the Benefit brow pencils are still incredible. All right, we're ready to move on to the final category of products, which is lips. My favorite lip liner that I tried this year is definitely the Sephora Rouge Gel Liner in the shade The Nudist. This is a lip liner that I have recommended for a while now. It's something that I think I tried out for the first time last year, but I tested this shade specifically for the first time this year, and I'm so glad that I did because I have officially found my perfect lip liner shade. Beautiful. So I would consider this to be a moderately cool toned nude. I guess that's what I'd call it, pinky nude, which just matches my natural lip color perfectly. And that is completely different than what this pencil looks like. I have found that to be true for a lot of their lip pencils. So I definitely think it's worth going to the store and seeing their lip pencils in person if you are interested in testing this formula out and aren't really sure on which shades are going to be best for you, because this is not what. I mean, I can see the similarities for sure, but this is like, I don't know. It's just not the same. That's what I'm trying to say. My favorite lip balm that I tried this year is definitely, okay, I have a lot of these too, the Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balm. The texture of this lip balm is amazing. It's extremely thick. It's cushy. It is a little bit sticky. I have the shade Jam on right now, but nothing that is noticeably sticky in my opinion, just when I'm really thinking about it. I wouldn't even call it sticky. I would just say that there's a slight tack, which I like because then it lasts longer on my lips than something something that's like really slippery. Oh my gosh. Okay, I put too much on. Calm down, calm down. I just love the way that these feel, and they do have a lot of really fun colors. When did I swatch all of these? Oh, it was when I did my favorite lip products in every category video, because I love lip products so much. I did a video dedicated to that. I swatched every single one of these shades. I showed you what they looked like on my lips. So if you are between shades and not sure what to pick up, definitely check that out. The one that I wear the most is definitely Plum, but again, I am wearing jam on my lips right now because it's just like a cute winter berry. I don't know why I just winked at you. That was weird. I did also swatch their newest, like I think they're calling it their nude launch. No, it might be their cafe collection. They came out with 4 brown tone shades recently that I swatched in my last What's New at the Drugstore video. Those unfortunately just didn't work for my complexion personally, but those are also really pretty if they do work for you. I just can't wait for them to come out with even more shades. I want like 100 more variations of shades like this. And last is a lip gloss that I fell in love with this year. You could probably guess what it is. It is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss, specifically in the shade Velvet. This, similar to Naturium, is also thick and cushy and is something that I would consider to be a little bit sticky. Like if Naturium is slightly tacky, this is slightly sticky. But again, that makes it last so long for me, and this shade Velvet is perfection. I want to put some on top of this. Also, just as like a fun little note, I love the applicator because it's curved, so it hugs your lips. Oh, I just love it. Hyper shiny, hyper glossy. I forgot to say that about the Naturium lip balms as well. Both of them are very glossy. And once I love something, I have to try 50 more shades. I will say I don't reach for anything else nearly as much as I do Velvet. Since I don't have any videos where all of these are swatched, I'm gonna do that really quick right now for you. Okay, can you blame me for getting all of these? These shades are just beautiful. And I have to say, before I say the names of these really quick, I feel like it's actually really difficult to find brands that understand wearable lip shades. Like, it seems that brands are more interested in having a huge variety of shades that are maybe not the most wearable. Like the really crazy reds and oranges and purples that are fun for pops of color, but at the end of the day, the everyday consumer wants something a bit more everyday, and that's what I love about this brand. They get wearable shades. So this is Presh, Little Lady Daisy, Watermelon, Velvet, and Sex Pot. Look at that shine, you guys. Like, this is a lip lacquer. I also love mixing these shades together to create something new. So I mixed Juicy Watermelon with Velvet a lot this summer just to add like a little bit more brightness, a little bit more pop to Velvet, and that is such a beautiful combo. All right, you guys, we have made it to the end of this video. Those are my top 10 makeup favorites that I tried in 2023 for the first time. I absolutely love every single one of these products. I'm sure that you were able to tell by how excited I got talking about them. But as always, everything that I talked about in this video will be listed and linked in order of mention in my description box below, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you tested any of these products out? How did they work for you? What have your favorites over the past year been? And if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more from me, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for your support in doing those things. It means so much to me. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.